By a show of hands, how many of you are citizens of the United States? Do you know how fortunate you are to be a citizen of the United States, especially now that you're young and have many goals in life that you would like to accomplish, without any worry that you might be deported at any time in your life? Well, many young immigrants have the same dreams as you, but they have the worry that their dreams might come to a complete stop and be deported at any time in time. But there is hope for them with DACA. Today I'm going to tell you about what DACA is, how DACA changed my life, and what's happening with DACA today. Now, DACA is an acronym that stands for Deferred Action Childhood for Childhood Arrivals, and it protects young immigrants who are undocumented from being deported. Gives them a social security number, the ability to work, um, and the ability to have a driver's license, and to apply for health care. DACA was started by President Barack Obama and was announced on June 15, 2012. Former President Barack Obama started the program because Congress failed to pass what was called the DREAM Act, which helped people eventually give their citizenship. He then went on and said the Department of Homeland Security would incorporate a temporary program that would protect certain immigrants from being deported. And as you can guess, that program was DACA. His intention of creating this was to give young people the opportunity to express themselves and to show their full potential, and give them hope that one day they can achieve their dreams. Now, to be eligible to apply for DACA, you had to be under the age of 31 since June 2012, arrived in the U.S. before you turned 16, lived in the U.S. from June 1st, 2007 to the present without leaving that time frame. Be present in the United States on June 15, 2012, and request for DACA. You have to be in school, graduate with a GED, and don't post any federal offense or have any felonies. Now, DACA sadly does not lead to gaining your citizenship or give a lawful status. People who have DACA are not allowed to leave the United States. They have to have permission they have to have permission and pay a fee of $575. Now, I currently have DACA, and this is my experience with DACA. I came to the United States when I was only 4 years old, and the very first thing my parents emphasized was don't do nothing wrong, or you will be deported. What I mean by not doing anything wrong is drugs, hanging out with the wrong crowd, or just do anything that makes you stand out to the cops. This was a tough thing to hear at the age of 4, but I grew up with this idea always in the back of my head. As I grew older, I began seeing that I would never have the same opportunities as my friends, such as get a driver's license, be able to vote, be able to show what I was capable of, and I was still with the worry of being separated from family. But this all changed when I turned 15. My mom heard all about DACA and told me what it could do for me. This was a long process. It was about 6 months, but it was all worth it. I now have permission to work, have a social security number, and even the ability to get a driver's license, and have more opportunities to have a successful future. But most importantly, I am worry-free of being separated from my family. As you all know, Trump is currently our president and doesn't like illegal immigrants, which is not a surprise that he wants to get rid of DACA. The Trump administration was initially threatened with legal action against the executive branch if it didn't get rid of DACA. They immediately announced they would eventually bring an end to the program, but the Department of Homeland Security came to the aid and said it would be unconstitutional to get rid of DACA. Then the Obama administration extended DACA eligibility on November 2014, and they also extended the time for DACA to 3 more years. They also created a program in which parents with children who are citizens or permanent residents that would defer deportation proceedings. But what the Trump administration did do is that they would no longer accept DACA applications, but they would keep renewing pre-existing DACA applications. In short, DACA is a program for young immigrants that meet the requirements, which give them almost all the advantages of a U.S. citizen, but with some limitations. This program will help them reach their full potential and give them hope. I can personally say that DACA is a great program and it put my worries to rest. DACA is currently going through some rough times and is in risk of being terminated. But on the bright side, it will continue to renew existing DACA applications.